Greetings to you all. As I said before, I don't like to speak unless I feel like there's something that's missing and has not been said, because I see different posts, whether it's audio, video, or script. People are pretty much saying the same things, and it seems like we're spinning our wheels. When I say we, I'm talking to black people. Why would I be talking about anybody else? It's none of my concern. But we're spinning our wheels, so I'm here to say what's not being said. Alright, so bear with me, because I'm trying to be as concise as possible. I already wasted a minute. So anyway, black males in America are, as we know, under siege. And here's the problem. Black women are playing in opposition to black males on a chessboard. It's not about blaming or it's their fault. It's not about their bullshit. It's about the reality of the dynamics, the way they're set up. Since chattel slavery on a plantation, a black woman was forced in that position by the slave master, right? Black males were useful back then, but now we're being discarded because we're in the way. We're in the way because the seed from black men have the capability of erasing the white race. And that's just on that level. But on the other level, white women looking at black men, white women like black men the same way white men like black women. Right? So that's two reasons why you got to discard white supremacy ruled by white males are seeking to discard us. The bale and the hay days is over. The cotton picking day, all that shit. They don't need us for those reasons anymore. They need us to play basketball now. They was making money off us rapping, but now they training white boys to be better than us and rapping because black folks don't take it seriously, and so we letting all these clowns in the industry, and so they are systematically supplanting, replacing, and discarding black males. Now, here's the problem, or here's something for us to think about, I should say, because it doesn't have to be a problem. It is now. Black women absolutely have a choice. Black women can choose to reside and run America, because black women run America now. Believe that shit. Just peep the whole scenario and think about the power that Oprah Winfrey had. Oprah and Michelle put Barack in office. Just think about that. Even if you go back to Bill Clinton, go back to every president. Bill Clinton, George Bush, Condoleezza Rice, follow the bouncing ball. Black women are all throughout it. Don't shit pop off in America. Even the Oscars got a black woman running it. Right? They ain't stupid. Like white men control it, but black women run that joint. So the black woman is the most valuable player. She's the MVP of America. So it's for her, just like LeBron James, when he chose to take his talents to South Beach, he left his plantation and he took his talents to South Beach because why? Because he wanted a ring. He wanted a championship. He was the diva. He was the belle of the ball. He's the most powerful player in the NBA. He is the currency. He's that dude, LeBron. And he wasn't being treated right on the plantation, so he took his talents to South Beach. The slave master got mad, and his true color, whiteness, came out of him. He called him a traitor. So how is this man a traitor? You know, What did Jay-Z say? I heard motherfuckers saying they made Hove, which made Hove say, okay, so make another Hove. Like, in other words, if you really made me who I am by giving me this opportunity to play on your team, then make another one. Bring somebody else. Go ahead, man. Do you show me what you made of? Show me how you get down. Produce somebody like me. But he couldn't because it was only one LeBron. So LeBron made the point. The owner couldn't reproduce. So if you can't, so in the rule in business is if there's an element or there's something that you have that you can't replace, you don't let it go. You don't let it get away, right? So why didn't he offer him LeBron a piece of the franchise? Because LeBron's a nigga. To him, fuck that. I don't care. His supremacy jumped out of him. I'm not going to do it. I'm simply not. He's a traitor. He's this and that. Okay, so emotions aside, you should not let this man get away because he's your franchise. He's the income for Cleveland, for the Cavaliers, for the state of Ohio. This man is revenue. He's currency. But the arrogance of white supremacy made that white man, let this man walk away. Right? But LeBron came back. He got his championships and he realized, okay, man, fuck all this. I'm not getting into this whole rat race that white people set up. Who's the best between Michael Jordan and so they got their horse. These are their race horses. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They trying to make race horses out of black people because they're not athletically. They don't have what we have. So they hire and they own niggas. They buy niggas like they did during the plantation time, and then they put us on a basketball court in a boxing ring and they run us to the fucking ground, and until we have no more left. And then they talk about, yes, this horse was great. That nigga was great. Remember that nigga there? So now LeBron peeped game and realized, oh, what's going on here? Fuck that. I ain't your racehorse. Alright, I won a couple championships, been there, done that. It was cool. So I ain't got to compete with Mike. I get my rings, I don't. But I'm going back to Cleveland because the young black males in that city and in Ohio, they need me. In that state where I'm from. He went back, didn't know if he was going to win, lose, or whatever, but he went back and he built something there. But he built something bigger than basketball. See what I'm saying? He realized he could have went anywhere. He is the charm of the league. Of the NBA. Forget about Cleveland. Of the NBA. He's the face of basketball. The most powerful player in basketball. Now, so be that as it may, he made a decision. And that decision was out of loyalty as a man. Black women are the LeBron James of America. Black women give their power to white America. Without black women, white America could not move. From Wall Street to D.C., they could not function. That's how valuable black women are to America. So what's wrong with the black community? If black women are that valuable, what's wrong with the black community? Is that psychologically black women have been taught, programmed, trained, and conditioned that they have to get power from white people. When they are the ones that white people know, white men, I should say, know that black women are the ones that give them power. Go in any office and you'll see that secretary over in the corner or that whoever the black woman is in that business or office is the one with the most damn sense and the most managerial skills and the know-how and the one who knows how to make that shit work. But we do that, but she does it to keep her business afloat so she'll have a guaranteed job so she can put food on the table because her husband is either dead, in jail, or out drinking or just ain't shit. Why? Because we were the direct targets of this war that we're in, that we're still in. And we're still considered slaves. So she has had to, over hundreds of years, develop us to be beta males and be inferior or at least submit publicly so that we don't get lynched. That's what she had to do. Teach us not to create waves because she don't want her baby boy to die at the hands of these white savages. That is why it's a part of our culture now to develop safe black males. That's why we don't work in concert with each other, because we don't trust each other, and it's been put in our head, they're dangerous niggas, stay away from them. That's them radical niggas. They start in trouble. But it's not about being radical, it's about being males, because here's the bottom line. Black women can survive in America. Black women can absolutely, because America depends on black women, truthfully. So you have black women, you have a choice. You genuinely do. Because black people were conquered, which means black males, the warriors, were defeated, conquered, and made prisoners of war. The black woman was brought along as concubines, but they are so powerful now that they can absolutely supplant or at least coexist and thrive in America. But the thriving of while black women are thriving, the same thing that makes them thrive is what makes black males, is what emasculates black males. The same thing that makes black women thrive in America emasculates black males. But black women are not conscious of it because black women see how to do this shit. You go to school, you get an education, and you open through doors, you network, and you see how all this shit works together, and you're like, damn, I could do this shit. Well, what's wrong with this nigga? Why can't he? Because you're not walking through this scenario as a black man. So you judge him, and you think that motherfucker, what's wrong with this nigga? Then it's the ones who go out in the street, the brothers who go out in the street and make things happen and pop. Some of you turn your nose up at them because, well, why can't you do that legitimately? Or why can't you? Because you don't understand, because you don't have a penis and testicles. You are not posing a threat to the genetic annihilation of white people. So you will never be able to comprehend unless you want it to. But if you don't want to understand that, then you're going to proceed to judge and cut your eyes at your brother, your father, your husband, your baby daddy, your son. And so you are spiritually divorcing yourself from black men. Now, here's the thing. You absolutely can survive without us. You don't need black males because white men love you. The thing is, do you want to be with black males? Now, you should not accept bullshit from black males. You should not allow your daughters to engage with black males who are not trying to develop themselves and the black community. But understand there's a difference between black males who are developing their community and black males who are trying to assimilate into white society. You might think that's a successful black man, but if he is not focused on developing his community, he's still emasculated. If he is a Charles Barkley, rich, and I ain't saying just because he's married to a white woman, I'm saying the type who get into the NBA and they're not allowed to associate or be pro-black because their owners discourage, not just discourage, but they do not permit them to have gatherings on their plantation to talk about being free. Because if they become free, then the owners are going to lose money. And so these Negroes are cultivated. The deal is, I'm going to make you millions of dollars. You can be on my plantation. You can have the free run of this plantation. You just can't leave. But you'll be rich. You can have all the hoes you want, all the bed wenches you want on my plantation. Just don't try to leave, nigga, because we're going to lynch your ass. They lynching Nick Cannon now because he had the balls to be a man, and you are not allowed to be a man on this plantation. But black women are allowed to be women. So if black women are allowed to be women And you see how easy it is for you to come up. That means you can get close enough to the food to kill it. Now, of course, in a usual situation, the men go out and hunt, but we're in the middle of a war. We're on a plantation. Where does your loyalty lie? What's in your heart? So, because you don't need us, you absolutely don't. You can all assimilate. You can get black males who are emasculated. You can get white males. You can get anybody you want. Black women, you absolutely have it like that. That is the absolute truth. You have it. That's your choice, and you can thrive. But if you don't realize, I'm saying this video because I want you to be conscious. I want you all to understand what works for you don't work for black males in a society as a collective. Individuals, but if it's individualistic, that means collectively black males are stamped as being dysfunctional and weak, which means even as successful individuals are looked at as being a part of a weak group of men who ain't shit, which means you now have to disassociate yourself from your fucking self. Is that insane or what? That's what's happening with Nick Cannon right now. But he chose to be a black man. So understand, my sisters, because I love you. I love my wife. I love my mother. Rest in peace. And my wife is powerful because my wife gets what I'm saying. And she absolutely is in the spirit of Harriet Tubman. So I'm not one of them frustrated brothers who hate now. So before you, those of you who don't know me, before you go on my page to see, investigate him, I ain't that dude. I'm happy personally, but I happen to understand that my life is inextricable from black males collectively. And so I'm speaking to our collective body because black women don't need black men in a society. You can absolutely choose the victors in the war because white men were victorious in the conquest of black people. So the women are the prize, the booty. Where do you think the term booty comes from? That term was used to describe black females who were the booty of the war, the spoils of the war. When white people went in and conquered black people. It's like when people go in and when pirates go into a ship, they loot the ship, they snatch the booty, whatever the jewelry, treasure is. That's what booty means. It don't mean buttocks. It don't mean ass. It means the treasure. But black women were the treasure. So that's why the term booty is used to describe their buttocks, which was the treasure for white males. So you absolutely are their treasure and could absolutely survive without us to the negation of black males, and we would eventually die off. That's the plan. Make us take the women, make us die off. Because unless they find a way to get rid of us, they eventually, just by nature, eventually, if they do not create parameters to incarcerate us, emasculate, or physically castrate, or kill our seeds, effeminize us, if they don't do that, eventually there won't be no white people. And some of them are cool with because they're about being human beings, and some of them want melanated grandchildren. And they cool with that, but the white supremacists are not cool with that. So, but black women, you're the most valuable player. If you make them rich, and you've built America for them, and then you have the capability of building the black community. You can absolutely commit class suicide, meaning choose to negate white America, the dominant culture, and bring your talents back to the community. We could absolutely have a thriving national Black Wall Street. We could have banks, supermarkets. We could have a whole network throughout this whole United States and build wealth if black women decide that's what they want to do. if you choose to do that. Or you can choose white America like you have been. That's what's been going on. We can paint this picture. Well, I work for black people. No, you're working to develop black people or black males to try to assimilate. It don't work for us like that. That's emasculation for black males. It works for black women, not for black males. Now, so what's good for black people? If it's only good for half of black people, then it's not good for black people. It's only good for black women. You're in denial about it because you see that you're making some males successful. And then you look at other niggas, well, you're just mad and you're just hating. No, no, no. Nick Cannon is making a choice. Look at him, for example. He is successful in the eyes of black women, but he stepped down as a man because he realized these motherfuckers is trying to castrate me. Cause the fucking veil has come off his eyes. I'm not your bitch. What's the documentary? I'm not your Negro. Well, I ain't your bitch. That's really what he's saying. Cause we don't talk like, I'm not your Negro. Fuck all that. I ain't your bitch. But black women have to understand that the moves you make, you cannot expect us to make that. Now, here's how black women can be more gangster. Remember Casino? Remember Ginger from Casino? Remember how loyal she was? Now that dude, the character James Wood played, he wasn't shit as a person. So I ain't really talking about who he was. So we ain't gonna get into that because black males have a reputation for being like James Wood, but that is not that character is not something that I would hold up because that is weakness. But what I'm saying is that the whole notion of what Ginger represented, metaphorically, she is with this dude because that dude wanted her, but her loyalty was with her man. All right, now that's the first part of the equation we got to fix. You got to have black women deciding, choosing, I'm going to go get this food and I'm bringing it back to us. I'm not going to get in the door and try to bring my children into the White House. I'm going to go here and take what I bring here and I'm going to bring it back here to the family. That's when things will change. And that's when we will have thriving communities around the United States. Because the power that black women and currency that black women have is unrivaled, unparalleled, unprecedented. And as a collective, if they chose to use it for us and not for Hillary Clinton and not for the women's movement or whatever, all these other movements that are in progress. And y'all hear what I'm saying. Every last one of these movements that are civil rights based, and I'm not naming any of them so you motherfuckers can get on here and say, he said this. Any movement outside of the movement for the liberation, and by liberation, I mean the human rights of black people and the right for us to self-determination, to make money and to develop the right for us to have thriving black Wall Streets around this fucking globe without being bombed. Any movement outside of making that happen and the restoration of black people is offensive, and it's an insult to black people, and it also is a part or agent of white supremacy. You cannot come to this country or be in this country and decide, well, we want rights for this and we want rights for that, and not fucking acknowledge the shit that black people have been through from the beginning, who built this country. It's like you turning a blind eye to the suffering, pain and suffering of generations of black people because you have your cause. And if you notice, everybody's cause is getting fed but ours. Why? Because the debt is too motherfucking deep. It's a high price. How do you repair this shit? You ignore it and you give other people rights. And the other people say thank you very much. And the other people recruit black people to make their shit pop. Black women primarily. To make their shit pop. And black women make everybody else's shit pop. We need you to make our shit pop. Now, that's for black women. And for these other people, let me be clear again. Whatever your movements are, I don't care about no borders. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And black women were not even considered women. And according to the Constitution, if you're in a large women movement, they playing you too. I don't care about that. They are pimping black people and they're pimping black women. You're taking your power, you're giving power to them, and then you come back and we still ain't got shit. Black people. Now, black males will not get their shit together until black women decide to be planted firmly within the people and to develop functioning black Wall Street type communities. Because then the black males will then be planted in who and what they are. And that's the only way men can function. They got to, because if you raise them to assimilate, in order for them to get through that whole keyhole, they got to cut their testicles off. Because they ain't going to fit through that hole with their balls there. So they have to cut the nuts off of black males. And so black males start to talk like this. Hello, sir. How are you? Ah, hey, my name is Jeff. How are you? Nice to meet you. We have to fucking disguise who we are and change our expression to make white folks feel more safe and convinced that we're not here to threaten them. In fact, we look up to them and we acknowledge them as our masters and our superiors. Why else would we talk like this? That is what you're asking us to do, and that's fucked up. So, but if you are, if the black woman is like LeBron coming back, and we're going to build something, we building institutions, and then the boys grow up understanding that this is our community. So now my job is to protect and defend this community, not to try to cross the fence and to build something up for this white. Can you imagine for a man, a young male growing up to be and is taught from a young age that he is never going to be equal to this white man? That's the message. We don't have shit. We don't build shit. We grow up to work in some capacity and be a slave at some capacity. I don't care how talented, how much money, we still going to be inferior in some capacity to this other man. That's what you're telling them. So what black women have to do is bring it back. Come back home. Build the community. Black males, stay the fuck out the way. Because black males, I'm talking about the older ones who've been around, who are knowledgeable and have been around wheeling and dealing. And yes, and the ones who, when you get in a conversation, always got to one-up you about what they know, who they know, where they've been, what they done. Always got to one-up a motherfucker. And we can't just sit down, strategize, and everybody brings something to the table. It's always a motherfucker that got to be in charge or be more important than the next black man. And that's what happens in movements. That's why black women cannot build shit here, the ones who are down to do that, because they look at it as we black people have to do it, and so they bring in black men who get in the motherfucking way because of their motherfucking egos. They step in here, I'm in charge, yes. And they don't do shit. They don't know how to fucking function. They just know how to fucking talk well and act fucking important and diss other black males. So what I'm saying is that those Negroes had to stay out, and black women, you need to be about the business of keeping those Negroes out. You don't need no black men within. We can work collaboratively, and we can work and function as separate entities, and it's not like we separate, but you don't need black men for that, because niggas get in the way because of how they process. Because too many black males have too much bitch in them. And that's just the truth. Because of the way they're raised and have been groomed. Even the ones who have a lot to contribute, and that's the thing. We have some brilliant minds, brilliant and powerful individuals, but they don't know how to function within a unit to mobilize unless they're in charge. Now, and problem with a lot of black women who run organizations is you don't understand how to function with black males within the organization unless you're able to punk them into a submissive posture. That's a problem too. So what's best is that black women build something economically. And I ain't talking about academically. I ain't talking about politically. Fuck all that. It don't mean nothing. We need businesses. We need food. We need supermarkets. We need banks. We need institutions. We need money to build institutions of learning. Otherwise, we got to get our shit from them. And whenever we go to get our shit from them, by them I mean white people, white America, the dominant culture. Whenever we go to, who do we talk to on the phone? Or who is making the decisions? It's usually a black woman. So if black women are thoroughly planted and thoroughly ingrained within the infrastructure of the government institutions, business, corporations, then just imagine if you had that type of network. See, that's more, it's not really us against them. It's like, I know a lot of you have a problem with the whole gangster shit, but there was a lot of good shit about gangsters. Because there's certain shit that they understood that, like, and I say they, like past tense, because it don't really exist like that no more. Because the American banksters and the people who and the elite that run the world have basically stomped out those thorough ones from back in the day. But some of the principles, were good. So if you can make a phone call and you have black women on the inside who are also down with black women on the outside, building in the community, you network. You open up doors and paths, but the ultimate objective is not to come in, it is to build ours. And that's the problem. The assimilation, integration thing fucked their heads up. We got too many people focusing on trying to get in the door. No, if you're in the door, you should be getting in the door to get and bring back. To build. Because we don't have, everybody else is building shit but us. But we out in everybody's shit. Building they shit. Black women are, particularly. Black women have the power. Absolutely have the power. So this is not a diss. This is constructive criticism, not of black women, but of black people. Because we can't, if we keep looking at it, oh, well, this is what black women do, and this is what black people do, and we keep, no, you have to be specific when you are trying to understand where the problem is. Because you have there's a demographic within the demographic. And if you don't understand that black women as a specific sub-demographic of black people are powerful, and if you don't understand that what makes them powerful absolutely does not carry over to black males, then when we speak about the progress of black people, we don't realize you're lifting one up and you're cutting one off. You understand? See, just think of it like this. The same hole or the same door that black women can walk through unscathed, if black males try to walk through, they're going to get their nuts cut off. Like if you can envision physically a type of entrance like that, then you would get like a graphic image of what happens. So the thing is for black males to not try to walk through the door. Why? If your woman, your wife, your sister, your mother is able to walk through that door, and she is in the spirit of Harriet Tubman, like she's a rider, she's family, then you play your part where you at and you build, like literally build, as she goes and gets whatever is the tools and the produce or whatever is needed to bring back. That's the solution. But we gotta look at it and understand roles. Even on there's different chess pieces on a basketball team. There's forward, guards, centers. Everybody's playing in different position, and you gotta understand the power and currency that we have. You gotta acknowledge it. If you just say blanket and say black people this and black, you will never understand the dynamics of how to get up out of this. Black women can go. The queen on the chessboard can go anywhere. The king takes one step and rest. The queen go wherever the fuck she want to go on the chessboard. That is what's going on in America. But the problem is the black queen left and has stayed over on the white side because she thinks that she has to do that to keep the pawns in the king safe. If I stay over here with Massa, he won't kill my boys or my man. So I'm going to please him over here, and I'm going to do right, and I'm going to see if I can throw my people some bitters. Because she's doing it with good intention. It's not to be fucked up, and it's not to in any way undermine black males. That's not the intention. But it doesn't matter what your intention is. Because by doing that, you are absolutely emasculating the males. So, since the black queen can go wherever the fuck she want to go, what I'm saying is when you go with the understanding like Harriet Tubman that I have to come back because I can't separate myself from these people. And the objective is not to get in the door and to become embraced by these people who don't give a fuck about us. If these people don't like my son, and black women understand this, if these people or this woman calls my son, husband, brother, or father a super predator, I don't fuck with her. That's your position. Not, well, that was said a long time ago and we gotta run for her. Fuck that. If this person, this white woman, called your husband, your brother, your son, your father a super predator, at that point, she should become your enemy. Real rap. Unless you agree with her. And therefore, that makes us your enemy. And so you made your choice. But there is a choice because you don't need us, black women. But if you love us, like I'm loving you. Like I ain't gonna speak for all brothers because a lot of them don't love sisters because they've been taught by sisters to love white women. Because you embrace the white culture and because you embrace America and you grow up and you had the kids grow up around you watching Wendy Williams, watching The Voice or The View, whatever the fuck these, and E! News, all of these things that they walk through the living room, and when you got the TV on, the Kim Kardashians, keeping up with the Kardashians, your sons walk through, and your pictures and your t-shirts of Marilyn Monroe, you're teaching them to love white women above you. Then when they get older, black girls, you get mad. Well, why the brothers always go? Why all good brothers always? Because they are searching the American dream: fame, money, mansions, expensive cars, and white women. That's the American dream. So when you are imposing integration and assimilation on your children, on your male children, and keeping them away from the union with other men and becoming soldiers to build their community up. When you do that and say don't get involved with all them, and you can do this and you can do that, when you're actually emasculating them and instilling with them the American dream, which is to negate you also. So you have to understand all of the dynamics involved, and you can't just pick and choose because these things are intertwined. So we all we got, for real. So if you don't understand, black women, you are the most powerful piece. You built America, and you can build black people up. And it's going to take generations of sacrifice. Once the decision and determination is made by black women, we're going to build this shit up. We gave enough of our power to America and to white supremacy. We're going to take our power back and build for our children. It's going to take sacrifice because the men that grew up with you are in jail, dead, on substance abuse, or weak. And then you got pockets of strong brothers throughout. There are pockets of us here and there that are still breathing, but it's not enough to make an impact in the way it's needed. But we are resourceful and useful, but you gotta be able to work in concert with us without dissing us and distancing yourself. Because the task ultimately for all of us is looking down the line. Like the Japanese after Hiroshima and Nagasaki was bombed. It's not about, well, I want it, if I don't see it in my lifetime, fuck it. That's selfish. I don't expect to see black people functioning at a 5/5 level. I wrote the book because I want my son and my son's children and their children down the line eventually to live in a world where they can be black, proud, and human at the same fucking time. So I'm trying to push the process along strategically. But it ain't going to happen now. Because before that can happen, black women have to decide, they have to be tired of this bullshit and decide, fuck giving my power to them, to white people, I'm going to empower us. And when black women are fed up with this bullshit, with the Hillary Clintons and all of these motherfuckers who don't give a damn about you, or your sons, husbands, brothers, and fathers, and you decide to bring your power back home and build businesses and thriving communities, like, fuck the political game. We need capital resources. When you decide to do that, then your sons and daughters will become cultivated. Once that determination is made, you're going to cultivate them properly to be strong, be dedicated black people to black people, and that will change all of the dynamics. Because the boys will grow up into men who are not thirsty for white women. And to be separated from other black men. Now, for those of you who are sensitive, because whenever you talk to people and make posts, people automatically process things in terms of their own self personally, and then they get offended if anything is said, if you feel like your toes were stepped on. Can't be so sensitive. You can't. It's not about you. Hear the essence of what I'm saying. It's not personal. Ain't nobody judging you and decisions you made. I ain't your judge. All I'm saying is we ain't got time to be sidetracked or distracted on a personal level. That's our problem. We're too individualistic. It's all about what I'm doing. How's this? What? Fuck all that. We need all hands on deck for this ship sink. And that's real because it's sinking. And so we need our queen back on this side of the chessboard, or we're going to lose this game very soon. I promise you that. That's not like that's the handwriting is on the wall. So while you worrying about what Trump is doing and what fuck all that. It don't matter what they're doing. You hear any Chinese people protesting Trump? I mean, you one or two, but I'm talking about as a group of Chinese representing the Chinese people, the Chinatown. Do you see them talking? You don't. No, you don't see none of that shit. You see black people, and he ain't did half. He ain't did a third of the shit that Hillary did. But you see, because you're on this liberal tip, ain't none of these white folks did shit for you. And Hillary Clinton was trying to fucking. She loved the person, Margaret Sanger, that was her idol, who's trying to commit genocide against us. And Senator Byrd was also her mentor, the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. And she called your son super predators. You cool with that? That's fucked up, if you are. But if black rappers call black women bitches, oh, we out protesting, ain't we? We marching, and we got all you're calling your mothers bitches and hoe. This bitch called your husband's sons, brothers, fathers, super predators. After she and her husband flew the cocaine in and distributed to the crack dealers to turn these brothers into super predators, she turned around and called them super predators. And you cool with that? For real? Alright. Alright. That's how it go, right? But don't call me no bitch or hoe. But fuck it, yeah, you can call them super predators. They are. Really? That's cool with you? Alright. That's how you get down, right? But again, it's your choice. Who you riding with?